Hello everyone and welcome to SOP Academy. In this video, we are going to see another Infosys interview experience. So this interview was held on the 12th of March 2022. This is of an IT student. So before starting with this interview, if you are going to give your Infosys interview in the upcoming days, then you can also share your interview experiences on this email ID. This email ID is also given in the description, so you can directly copy from there and share your interview experience. So this is the format in which you have to share. So many people have already shared, so you can send your questions directly right in the mail and you can send it to me, so that I can also help other candidates like they have helped you in your interview experience. And also do check out the other Infosys interview experience playlist. So there are 6 videos in this, and these are for other all the system engineer roles and from different candidates. So you can check out these videos. I have given the questions as well as the answers for each and every question, the technical questions. So this will be very helpful if you are going to give the interview in the upcoming days. So now let us start with this video. So the first question was, tell me something special about yourself that you have not mentioned in your resume. So this is going to be an important question because normally they only ask for your introduction in the starting. So if this comes in your interview, then the candidate might get shocked because he was not expecting this question. So if you are seeing this video, then it will help you that this kind of questions can also come, that they will ask you that tell me something that you have not already mentioned in the resume. So at that point of time, you will have to think of it and give your reply instinctively. So the second question was, which languages have you used in your projects? So you can mention the languages that you have used in the project, and the upcoming questions can be related to those programming languages itself. The next question was, write a code for finding the smallest number in an array. Also tell you to write the code. They will ask you to share your screen, they will say you to write on a paper and show it to the screen. So whatever will be the question, but the question is going to be same. It is going to be some common data structure string related questions. So this was for finding the smallest number in an array. So this is the code. So I have to write the complete code, but for explaining to you, I have written the complete code. So first of all, we have started the int main. Then we have declared an array, name is a, and there are 30 elements in this array. Then there is an element variable I, then variable num and smallest. All are in int, integer data type. So first of all, we will ask for the number of elements in the array. So the user will enter whatever the number of elements he wants. So that will be stored inside num. So after that, we have to read the elements of the array from the user. So for that, we have a for loop from I equal to 0 up to I smaller than num. Num is the value of the number of elements. So we will scanf, that is we will put the values in the array, that is ai. So first of all, I will be 0, so value will be entered in a0, then a1, a2 up to a less than a num. The next step was, first of all, we will consider that the first element of the array, that is a0, is the smallest element. So the value of a0, we have sent it to smallest. Smallest is a variable we have already declared here, that is of int. So after that, the main algorithm comes through which we will find the smallest element. So there is a for loop from I equal to 0, I smaller than num till I plus plus. Now what we have to do, there is an if statement. So if ai, that is first of all a0 is smaller than smallest, then what we will do is smallest equal to ai. So we will compare ai, that is all the elements of the array, with the smallest element. The smallest element was first a0. So we will compare, and if it is smaller than the smallest element, then the value of the smallest will be changed to ai. So according to this, at the last what we will get will be the smallest element in that array. After that, we will print out the results. So this is the code for the finding the smallest number in an array. The next question was, explain acid properties. So in DBMS, we have acid properties. So acid, A stands for atomicity, C stands for consistency, I stands for isolation and D stands for durability. So it is a set of properties of database transactions intended to guarantee validity even in the event of errors, power failures, etc. This is done in order to maintain the integrity of your table. So this is the meaning of acid, and the atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. We are going to explain them in detail. First of all, atomicity. It means that all statements of a transaction must succeed completely. So it must either completely be successful or it should fail completely. This is known as atomicity. Next is consistency. The database must remain in a consistent state from any transaction. Third is isolation. Isolation ensures that concurrent execution of transaction leaves the database in the same state that would have been obtained if transaction were executed sequentially. The last one is durability. Durability guarantees that once a transaction has been committed, it will remain committed even in the case of system failure. So this was the acid properties. The next question was what is an array and how is it different from linked list? So first of all, let us look at what is an array. So it is a very common question, very easy question. Array is defined as the collection of similar data types. So in array, we only store similar data types, which are stored at contiguous memory locations. So the array is the simplest data structure where each element can be randomly accessed by using its index number. So this is the syntax for defining an array. First you give the data type, then you will provide a name for that array, and then inside square brackets you will give the size of the array. For example, int is the data type, then we provide roll number as the array name, and there is going to be size will be 3. So this is how we define an array. Now let us look at the differences between array and linked list. So in array, the elements are stored in contiguous manner. So if we know the base address of the element, then we will easily get the address of the any element in an array. But in case of linked list, elements are not stored in contiguous manner. They are stored randomly. So it consists of multiple blocks and each block is represented as a node. The other difference is that linked list is dynamic in size, whereas the array is static. So static means once it is defined, you cannot change the size of that array later on. But in linked list, you can change size according to your preference. After this, there were questions from logical reasoning. So I have noted or observed that in Infosys, they are also asking questions from aptitude. So you can get questions from mathematical aptitude, logical reasoning, or any kind of puzzle and all. So be prepared with that. This has become common these days. So you must have, don't forget all of the aptitude part. Try to like solve a few questions so that if in case it comes, there is a chance of it coming in your interview so that you can solve it there. The next question was, are you aware of recent technologies and explain any one of them? So you can mention any of the recent technologies, like you can see cloud technologies are used currently in market in most of the companies. There are blockchain technologies, then we have artificial intelligence, machine learning. So various technologies are there which are have come in the recent days, and they have bright scope in the future. You can mention these technologies, and then he asked explain any one of them. So for that you must have knowledge of a little bit of knowledge of each one of them. Like you can read a little, not much. The questions will not be from very deep. It will be only for surface level. So explain any one of them. You can explain if you have read about it. Did you try for any internship and why? So first of all, if you're from CSIT, then they expect that you must have done some internship and all. So that is why this question have come, because this candidate was from IT. So did you try for any internship? And if you have not done, then why? Why haven't you done? So you will have to explain why you haven't done the internship. Why your 12th percentage is low. So this is also I've seen questions like this come in the interviews. If like your percentage, if your 10th percentage was good but suddenly 12th percentage was low, so when they see your resume, this thing that it gets highlighted. So this may come in your interview if the same case is in your resume as well. The next question was, what are your strengths? After this, any other offers in hand? So for this question, simply deny that you don't have any other offers. If they ask you, have you given any other interviews, then you can say yes, you have tried for other companies as well, but currently you don't have any other offers. The next question was any location preferences. So you can say yes, I don't have any particular preference, but if given a chance, I would like to be in this location, but it is not very mandatory for me. If you give any other location, then also it will be good for me. Any questions you have? So at last, you should ask some questions, very simple questions. Also, you can ask when the results will be announced and all. So any simple question you can ask. Be interactive in an interview. That is a key for cracking the interview. So this was an interview experience. Please share your interview after you give the interview, and so that I will also be making these videos for the future candidates that will be giving the interviews. So that is all for this video. See you soon in the next one.